still see the
Good.
screen?
Yep.
Cool.
We're going to the slideshow. Okay. Hello, everybody out there waiting eagerly. I think everything's good. We got camera. Everything good with sound, guys? Can you give me a quick shout out?
Sound good on my end.
Looks good.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. First of all, I want to do a quick overview first about the, for those that don't know, that are new to us, the community. BitcoinZ is a project launched September 9th, 2017 from Genesis Block. We pride ourselves in being a grassroots project with no ICO, no pre-sales, no dev taxes, and really just really 100% community-driven project. Luckily, we have investors that believe in our coin and really pushing the limits of decentralization. And we are joining up with SafeCoin on this project as well. So go on to SafeCoin.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Very fortunate to be here. When BitcoinZ initially told me about this project, it was absolutely amazing to see how far along it had come. It's actually a huge honor to be part of it, and with a lot of the amazing developers that BitcoinZ has, I think we're seeing a lot of accelerated development and actual implementation of the technology, which is great to see.
Okay. Okay. Hello. You guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. With that said, guys, this is what you guys have been waiting for. It's what we've been waiting to show you, and we're finally to a position to where we can readily show you where we're at, and we hope that you enjoy it. So, without further ado, I want to present to you what we're calling Kiosk Z. This is the stealth project that I've been hinting at for a couple months now that we've been working on. It's something that I think it's really going to help us from an adoption standpoint, and I just want to go over it with you and share it with you guys. So when we came up with Kiosk Z, we try to look at things as, what are the problems that we have with BitcoinZ and really any other altcoin that's out there currently. And the biggest things that came up with is business adoption and velocity and volume of trading, in other words, actual use case for the end user. So when we came up with this project, we tried to go along with that notion in mind and try to create something that will spur the growth in both of those areas. And what we came up is with this. And the project statement, I'm not going to repeat all these statements and such, but I'll leave it to you to read. But this pretty much sums it up for what this project was intended to do, which is to incentivize adoption of BitcoinZ primarily, and as well as partnering currencies. So, with that said, we had a couple goals in mind. The first ones we wanted to do is to simplify the means of accounting for cryptocurrency transactions for a business or any kind of any kind of business. So that was one of our primary focus. The second one was to incentivize them to actually use the currencies. That's one of the biggest things we have a problem with now, is getting folks that own businesses to come outside of their safe zone and actually pick up these coins and actually use them. So in order to do that, you have to give them something. You have to give them the proverbial carrot, to take a risk on it. In addition to that, we wanted to drive velocity. In other words, we wanted to get users to not just hodl, not to just hold on to the coins or just hope for them the moon and that's it, but that actually get them to where they can use it, where they had a tangible use case for them through discounts for goods and services. And then we'll talk about that as we go along. And finally, we're looking for ways to mitigate the volatility that's involved with cryptocurrencies. if anybody that's a business owner that knows anything about cryptocurrency, the biggest thing that you'll hear, the biggest pain point is that it's too volatile, it's too dangerous. I can't do $100 transaction in a currency that will fluctuate 30% in a day. So we tried to encompass this as a solution to mitigate that as well. And what we ended up with was this. I'd like to introduce you to Kiosk Z. This is kind of a fusion of multi domains of happening tech right now. Primarily, this is a IoT device that is fully homebrewed. It's fully completed within our community. We built this using 3D printers, IoT technology, and it's cloud-based management on it. So if you can imagine it all in one, if we're talking about a pitch to somewhere's in Silicon Valley, we're hitting on all the catchwords: blockchain, IoT, cloud, you name it, and 3D printing on it. This thing is a fusion of all those domains. So, and what we had here is, when we came up with this device, we came up with it to address specifically the restaurant industries. And the reason why we decided to do that was simple. The average, if you do a couple Google searches, you find out the average markup on a food purchase at a restaurant or something like that is usually about anywhere between 200 to 337% markup. So they have a large, at least in theory, there's a large area, there's a large, what's the word I'm looking for? A large berth for them to be able to absorb volatility in and of itself. So when we did that, we looked at it and said, how can we get these people, how can we give them a carrot and get them to sign on with us? So we came up with Kiosk Z, and essentially what it is it's a payment gateway system and a table management system for restaurants. So we'll just go through the slides. These are some of just a quick profile view of it. What you have here is the frontal, the left, right, and the back. Just a quick thing, and I'm going to go through the slides here, just try to burn through this, not to take too much of your time. But there's a couple things that the system offers. Number one is if you look on the left side of this here, this is representative of one of the screens on the device, and the home page is where when a person sits down at a desk, or a table, and they're getting ready to order food or whatnot, they'll be able to use this device and just peruse through the news outlets, the selected news outlet for crypto news. And the idea is to try to expose people more to cryptocurrencies, expose them to BitcoinZ, expose them to our partnering coins in a way it's where they can kind of take advantage of the captive audience that's sitting at these tables on there. So when they first hit this, they're going to see this here, which is the currently set as Cointelegraph as the preferred news outlet for it. Now this is going to change. We're actually actively brokering and working on deals with various news agencies to actually bid for the opportunity to be the preferred news network for BitcoinZ in exchange for publicity and whatnot. So this is the main page. The next page that we have, if you follow the little blue square to the left of the menu, is a menu. So on top of the device itself, the business, in this case, we featured Cafe Number 10, which is one of our known outlets that accepts BitcoinZ. They're going to have the opportunity to have a free of charge an online menu that they can reference both on the internet or at the kiosk itself. We thought this was kind of important because it gives the opportunity of a business, like if they don't want to, let's say they change the menus every, I don't know, whatever it is, 6 months, something like that. They could alternatively use Kiosk Z as the menu and be able to update it dynamically without printing menus and such for that. And it just gave a really nice presentation of it. So that was the other option. And then the the next option we have after that is the actual table management system. So if you look at this one here on the left-hand side, we have table 3, which is simulating a table number 3 inside the restaurant, and to the left is the wait station, which wherever this would be where the waiter would stand waiting to or process payments, etc., etc. So this is really the carrot of the system that we gave, so to speak, to the business, in that a user that has a kiosk, a business that has a Kiosk Z system set up in their establishment, can have it to where the table can actively communicate with the waiter and just facilitate a better experience with them. So if we look here, again, we went through there. So they have a call attendant button here. So if they click this call attendant button, they're going to be presented with a series of options. If they're ready to order, they need a refill on their beverage, or they need to request a check. All these little things that make a huge difference when you go to a business and you want to get service there. It's the responsiveness which can make a lot of times a big difference on the perspective of the business if they're going to be repeat customers or not. So this is a way for them to accelerate and more efficientize their business, and to give their customers a way to efficiently communicate back and forth with the waiter without waiting 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is. So in this case, you know, if we were simulating here, we'd click the ready to order button as we show here, and that would flag on the wait station it would change the color to red, notifying the waitress or waiter that the person at table 3 wishes to has some kind of a need. Which, if they went and clicked on number 3, they would get this here, table 3, ready to order, and be able to acknowledge that request. And that really kind of solidifies the functionality that we're going to be using to pitch this, to entice them to actually accept it, and by proxy accept our cryptocurrency off of it. So we think it's a big step for them, and it's something that there's businesses out there that pay thousands of dollars per tables for this. We're going to give it to them for free, which is huge. So now let's say, moving on, we got our food, we got our beverages, we got refills through the kiosk, and it came quickly. Now it's time to get back to work, whatever. The waitress comes, brings a check, and now we want to pay. We let them know, as a customer, we wish to pay with cryptocurrency using one of our accepted methods: BitcoinZ, SafeCoin, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and any other that wishes to join Kiosk Z. From doing that, we select the currency that we wish to use. In this case, we'll select BitcoinZ. We'll punch in the amount that was referenced on the check that was due. This would be dollars, euro, lira, wherever the location that it is. This will be, we can actually specify this. And then it will actually generate a payment based off the current going exchange rate. So once we do that, we hit generate payment, and you'll see here we have a QR code representing that transaction that can be scanned with our CoPay wallet or the Coinami wallet if you're using BitcoinZ. Once that scan is complete and it's hit press done, the kiosk will actively look and interrogate the blockchain for that transaction. It's going to go out there and look at it and make sure, as soon as it sees this transaction incoming, it's going to move it from the pending transaction slot down to, as you can see here on the left, down to the received payment slot. So once this is complete, in addition to saving it onto the kiosk where the waiter can see that, okay, this person's paid, they're free to go, it also is sending it up to the cloud, and we are recording it into a database where the business can go back during tax time or quarterly earnings reports, whatever, and actually pull a history of all the transactions that they've received in crypto, how much it was exchanged for, the total amount for the check, and be able to give an easy and accurate account of where that funds are going. This is huge in a lot of areas, especially as more regulation starts to come online on being able to account for the trades, and it makes it more safe, much more safer for a business to accept these from a taxation point of view. So that's the crypto payments. So that leads us into, that's pretty much a general overview of what the kiosk itself has to offer at this time. Now I want to go over to hit a couple points that pretty much says how this is going to play out from adoption to listing of new coins, et cetera. So how will the business apply? There, we are currently in the midst of building the back end for this, or I should say the front end. The back end's already in place. We're in the process of building the front end for applying for Kiosk Z stations, as well as the setup of accounts. And that's going to be at digitaleats.com, which is that's going to be the site that we're going to forward them to once this is all said and done. As a part of the deal that we've worked out is we're going to provide any business that wishes to accept and implement Kiosk Z. We're going to provide them 5 free terminals free of charge for anybody that accepts it. With the mandate that they have to accept BitcoinZ, Safe, and 3 other mandatory coins that we have yet to select and have yet to be implemented on there. And it's going to be that's going to be the deal for free to get the first 5 kiosks free of charge. For every 5 additional, let's say we have a business of 20 in this example. We have a business that has 20 tables. They want to get these stations in at their location. We're going to give them the 5 for free, but for every 5 stations that we give them, we're mandating that BitcoinZ be discounted 5% for any transactions made for a period of 2 years. Now I say BitcoinZ for this because we are actively the ones that will be sponsoring these and paying for these units. So if another adopted coin wishes to do this as well, we can work that out to where they get the discount as well as a mandated requirement for it if they wish to sponsor those kiosks. But as of right in this example, we're saying BitcoinZ, you want 5, we'll give them to you free of charge for accepting our currency. You want to mark it up, you can mark it up. You want to discount it, you can discount it. But this is our thank you to you. But anything over 5, you gotta discount us off of that. So that leads us to the next question. Now we said there's Safe and BitcoinZ are going to be mandatory. We have three additional slots because we don't want to overburden the business with taking a bazillion coins off there. So we're going to be very selective on what we add as the total mandatory. At the total life cycle of this product, it's going to be 5 mandatory coins, but we can have any number of additional coins. Any number of want to participate and want to get listed on Kiosk Z can do so, but they will be at the discretion of the business to choose them. But as a requirement of Kiosk Z, they have to accept the 5 mandatory listed coins. So this is how this fee structure to get listed is going to work. To get listed, we're mandating a $5 million BitcoinZ listing price starting as of June 30th. So any coin that's out there that wishes to be added to this, and wishes to be a part of BitcoinZ, will be able to do so for 5 million BitcoinZ for a listing fee as of June 30th. Now, that should be July 30th. July 15th. Sorry, this is right. June 30th. That's when it's going to be available. July 15th. That price goes up by 250K, and it's going to go up every 15 days up into a hard cap of 10 million. And the reason for this is we've already got interest in getting these units out to businesses, and we're actually starting the ramp up process. So the longer that these coins take to join in, to get in on board, we don't want to have free riding. So if they wait too long, they got to pay more because they're taking, as our network grows, so does the value of our listing on it. One of the other points we can make is they can, if a coin chooses to list and they don't have that much BitcoinZ, or they don't have a method to do that, they can use 50% of their currency in one-for-one value of BitcoinZ to pay for it with their native currency. And what we plan to do with that is use that native currency to actually build these terminals and to finance it. Okay, so, and a last point of that is the BitcoinZ that we receive for that, we're going to save that into a multi-sig community wallet that will be visible to where folks can look at that. It is our intention to lock that BitcoinZ up and remove it from circulation as long as possible, and only use it in a last resort when we need funds to actually construct more terminals and get them out to customers. So, is there a limit to there? We said earlier there's no limit to how many can be listed on Kiosk Z. We did mention, just a recap for what we said here, BitcoinZ, SafeCoin, and 3 additional alts will be accepted as mandatory for agreeing to be provided Kiosk Zs. And there is a fee for mandatory listing. If a coin wishes to be a mandatory listing, that price is going to start at 10 million BitcoinZ for listing on June 30th, and then July 15th. That goes up by 250K up to a hard cap of 20 million. And the reason for it is those spots are going to be scarce. There's only going to be 3. We're not going to make, if we get 1,500 listings on Kiosk Z, we're not going to mandate that the business accept 1,500 currencies. It's just not. It's not tenable. So that's why we're keeping it to 5. So that pretty much covers that. And this is the kicker. The first coin that actually lists with us will be giving as being the first time around. They will be given one of those mandatory slots for the first coin to list with us on this. And that pretty much brings us down to the roadmap of it, because you've seen all the features we have as up to this point. This is a generalized roadmap of what we've came up with, what we plan to do, and it's only half of what we're really doing with it as well. But it kind of it's something to give you an idea what to look out for. So by the middle to end of Q2, we're expecting the first shipment of Kiosk Zs to be pushed out, and any orders that have been put in up until that point to be delivered upon. We're also anticipating having any coins that wish to, up until that point is going to be our first listing revision on the kiosks by Q2, and we're also going to implement advertising space for businesses and for crypto-related projects that want to advertise, want to get face time with new customers on Kiosk Z, and those will be coming in Q2 as well. By Q3, we're looking to offer a non-industry specific device. Like this one's very specific for restaurants. Currently, we're looking to we're going to make one that's very generalized that any business can use and offer those. But that's going to come in probably Q3, middle to late Q3, and something that's very unique. And this is the part where the big kicker of this presentation is we're going to be offering auto exchange functionality for businesses to get from crypto to fiat through a seamless process on that. We're gonna talk more of that in after this slide. And finally, it's as the last of the priorities is we're looking to anticipating to add digital gaming on the console, so that players or people that are sitting there, they can win rewards or discounts on food or even some crypto for playing simple games and stuff while they're waiting. So it's something to get coins in people's pockets. It's going to be free of charge. This is not gambling, so I want to make that clear. It's not gambling. It's just going to be just for patrons of the establishment to get little knickknacks while they wait for their food. So yeah, so that brings us here to the SafeCoin connection. So this is, you guys seen the tweets and the all the subterfuge for it. We have partnered with TradeSafe, which is a product of SafeCoin, to create a crypto to fiat automatic trading system for businesses to get in and out of their crypto that they accept. So that's the biggest thing. You talk to any business, they say, you know, the guy that's making pizzas for 20 years, he's not interested in BitcoinZ, he's not interested in SafeCoin. He's interested in US dollar, euro, or whatever it is that keeps the lights on, keeps the pizza oven going. So it's important. It's an important thing to make that as simple and streamlined as possible, and that's what this whole partnership is about. And it's going to be about the process of actually automating this functionality of it. So, without going in too far with detail and reading off a slide, I want to talk you through how it's going to work. So the first step is a business says, okay, yes, we want Kiosk Z in our establishment. We'll sign up for it. We'll follow whatever the guideline is. We'll set it up. So they adopt Kiosk Z. They get their first shipment. They deploy them, and set up their accounts on TradeSafe, set it up on Coinbase, or whatever local fiat-based exchange they have, because that's the key to this here. So now, when a customer receives a check, decides to pay with crypto, they're going to pay with it to the wallet that the business owner specifies for his establishment, and that's going to be on trade.safe. So the Kiosk Z units are going to be tied directly to wallets on trade.safe. So how this works is the customer pays it, as you've seen in the example previously, with Kiosk Z. Kiosk Z is going to calculate the exchange rate based off of the LTC pair exchange rate, bid-ask exchange rate at the time, and then present the user with the native currency requested amount required to pay. So then they'll send the funds, whatever it is. In this case, currently we have BitcoinZ and Safe as the pairs which will be set up for auto exchange. And then once the user sends them, they're going to go to the TradeSafe account. This is going to be a special account. This isn't going to be the same as the exchange that you currently have if you have an account on trade.safe. This is going to be a specific account specific for businesses. And all it's going to do is any transaction that comes in for one of their Kiosk Z accepted currencies, it's going to automatically trade it into LTC at the parity rate for that. And that's where the bid-ask calculation really comes into play. One thing to keep in mind, this is going to be based off of a private market maker pairing, and the reason for that is to shield against any kind of market manipulation by just some malevolent actor that wishes to manipulate the trade to get a free burger or something. So there's going to be market makers that have accounts that are going to agree to provide liquidity for LTC in exchange for a small percentage of the small premium of percentage off of it. So as this BitcoinZ, over here where the money bag is, let's say we send a transaction with BitcoinZ. We send that off to the Kiosk Z address. It hits SafeTrade. SafeTrade automatically exchanges it out for an equal amount of LTC. That LTC is then automatically sent to either Alliant, Coinbase, Kraken, Bitstamp, whatever fiat-based exchange that the business has in their zone of coverage. So like here, I have these listed here because I'm US based, and these are our primary outlets for fiat in our area. So if a pizza shop down the road wanted to accept Kiosk Z, they would have to create an account with SafeTrade as well as Coinbase for example, for this solution to come full circle. So when it sends it to the LTC to their Coinbase account, there's an option to automatically trade out any crypto that's inbound for fiat at the time of purchase, and that's how they're gonna set that up in order to have this function work. So once it's done, however, that LTC hits Coinbase, it confirms, hits whatever amount of confirms it is, it will then automatically convert and be deposited into their bank account, completing the transaction from crypto into US dollar. So, and that essentially concludes the process as it works. So with that said, let's see a live demonstration of it. Sound good?
Absolutely.
So give me a second while we shift over here.
Do we have a cost per unit so far, or is that not?
At current retail, and this is retail, if we were to just buy components on Amazon, 3D print them at the highest cost, it's at the on the high side, we're looking at probably $175 to $200 per station.
Okay.
So and as time goes on, as we get more funds on this, that's going to, we're going to be able to drive this as volume starts building.
Okay. So volume buying, the typical volume buying approach.
Correct.
Okay.
Jeff, if you want to speak to this process while I get set up here, we'll go ahead and go from there. I think
so Safe Trades has capabilities to integrate with other exchanges, with your Coinbase and your Kraken. So on our end, what we're going to be doing is helping to allow that liquidity to provide transactions on the spot for customers. And as we do so, the exchange will be able to integrate and provide Litecoin to the actual retail vendors as well, which is a very nice solution, as opposed to accepting Bitcoin, which some do now, and can take half an hour to an hour or 3 weeks to actually go through. They can use some of our altcoins, which have better performance, actually transact better, and previously had no way to actually be transacted in a restaurant or business setting. So I'm very excited about this, and we have all the technology on the Safe Trade API side to enable this to happen and connect with these kiosks.
Thanks, Jeff. Can you guys see the video feed?
Looks good on this side.
Okay, so we'll go in just to go into this. Give me a second here. So these are two demonstration units. So this is primarily to confirm that this is not vaporware. So as you can see here, we have the exact same setup that you had inside the slides. So if a user wants to, on the left side, we're simulating our wait station for where the waiter would wait, and then on the right we have the station which would be on the table. In this case, we're simulating table 3. So just to go through and see some of the function, you have your news, as we said, the news feed, which will go through here. This is going to be sold to the highest bidder, so to speak, in exchange for coverage for BitcoinZ and its partnering currencies. So as soon as somebody sits down to a table, they'll be able to go through here, peruse, read up on what's the latest happening, and hopefully get educated on crypto. That's it. So if I come and sit down, let's say I'm ready to order now, I'm going to go ahead and hit the button over there. It's called order. Press ready to order. If you look over here, it goes red. If you can imagine, this supports up to 36 tables. Number 3 would go red if they click on it. All right. And the user goes there, it says ready to order. So at that point, the waiter or waitress knows they got to go check on the table. Go there, cancel out of it, and reset the system back to green. Just to go through, and for the sake of thoroughness, we're going to go over and look at the menu as we said. our beloved acceptors and business that's currently accepting BitcoinZ, cafe number 10. We'll look at their lunch menu. It has some, by the way, anybody that's there, you got to go look and get some of this food here because it looks absolutely delicious. We're going to look at here, we'll look at the cracked crab. It'll load up, take a look at what that is, and we'll decide that's what we want to order. So that's that. It's going to cost us €10.95. And that's it. So we put in our order for that. Now we go on. Now from this point, let's say we're going to go ahead and we want to go ahead and pay. So we tell them we're going to pay with BitcoinZ. One thing I wanted to mention here, we said in Q2 we're going to be adding advertisement for the business. This location here is where we're going to actually have the advertising, this white space. This is what's going to be up for sale. We're going to give a mixture between free advertisement and paid advertisement for both business to business. So any other businesses that are accepting BitcoinZ through Kiosk Z will be able to advertise at other businesses. That's gonna go on the right here of this screen, as well as crypto-based advertisements. Anybody wants to put a crypto-based advertisement up. But getting back to what I was saying, we're gonna pay. Let's say we bought a cup of coffee. We're gonna go here to BitcoinZ. We click BitcoinZ, and it automatically fetches the current exchange rate for BitcoinZ. So all we have to do here is take once we get the check from the waiter, we just take the amount, plug it in. So let's say 1.0 or 2.00 for $2 for a cup of coffee. Then I'm going to hit enter. It's going to automatically calculate the BitcoinZ due. Anybody that notices this number looks wrong based off the calculation. The reason that is because we've had this set to, we assumed that this business had 25 stations in place. So 25 stations in place would require them to give a 20% discount on BitcoinZ transactions. So based off of a 20% discount, the user is required to pay 813.17 BitcoinZ for the payment. So we're going to generate QR code. We have a generated QR code, and we're going to take our handy dandy, stand by. We're going to use our handy dandy copay wallet. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and scan that code in. We're going to use the personal wallet. And for the sake of this video, so we're not all waiting for it, we're going to put it to urgent on the fee. See, 813 due. Send the transaction. Payment sent. And then we go over here. We're going to see here. See, we already had a test transaction we did here earlier for $2. We're going to do another one here. You see it where it has the currency chosen, the order number that it assigns to it, the total price in crypto, the exchange rate that it was at the time of purchase, and the amount in fiat that it was due. So what we're going to see here is once this confirms, you'll see it has not yet confirmed. It's going to move down from the pending transaction area down into the received transactions. And this is going to tell, this is primarily to tell the user that's handling this, the waitress or waiter, whoever it is, that the payment has processed and that it has went through, and that person is free to go. So we'll wait a few minutes while this is processing, and at the same time, I'll take some questions inside of the Hangout. So give me 1 second to swap over to that.
I think we've answered a lot of the questions in the presentation itself. Is there going to be somebody else who's responsible for actually selling the units?
That's gonna be, well, that primarily we're gonna be looking at doing some PR campaigns to get people, get businesses out, get it out there to businesses. But the biggest thing that you can do is the community, as by large, needs to go out there and bring this up to businesses. If you got a good, a good store, you go and you get your cup of coffee every morning, the owner, say, hey, I'd like to show you something. Is this something you can use and get them interested for it? This is grassroots. Everything about BitcoinZ is grassroots. So
Right.
we're really gonna be leaning on the community to get the word out there. Eventually, I think when people realize that there's options out there that don't cost $1,000, they're going to gravitate to this regardless of it. So I believe, it's my belief that's how we're going to see this going here. And just so you can see it here, this is yeah, we still have not confirmed yet.
So what another thing about it is how you are talking about gravitating towards the community. I think the one of the biggest approaches for our mass adoption initiatives really involve the multiple arms of people across vast geographical areas to reach out based on their contacts and personal relationships, or they themselves that own these types of establishments. They'll push something like this out there.
Absolutely.
It's again leaning towards how we always do it here in the community. Just people just light a fire and they go with it and they keep it burning, right?
Correct.
Someone was asking about technical. Go ahead.
Okay, so what the technical aspect of what's required, is that what we're asking?
Well, I think they're asking about if there's going to be a technician who actually is involved in deploying the unit. That's
something we're actually working on. So, and I'll hit a couple points on that as well. I'm going to be offering personally. I'm offering for probably the first, I would say, 100 units. I'm going to offer a $5,000 bounty for every business that's on there. So 5,000 BitcoinZ for every business that's brought in for this that a company or that a person actually pulls into the fold.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that explains that. I'm sorry?
There goes
there we go. Yeah, perfect. So we just got our first confirmation in there, so it's in the pipe.
I think the amazing part about this to me, I think the first 4 times you guys showed this to me, I thought it was Photoshop, and I was still really impressed. It's amazing just to see stuff like this. Like just to reiterate, this stuff is actually real and it exists and works. And like you guys say, that is because we have such strong communities that back us, that believe in crypto, that believe there's a better way than fiat, and we get a tremendous amount of support and talent in both communities. So I think the whole amazing, when people ask, how will some of the technical parts be done? How will this be done? How will that be done? I think the amazing part is that this can actually just happen, and the communities are more than capable of delivering everything we need to. Now, but if you're out there and you want to provide support to this project for either of our communities, definitely, we're always growing. We're looking for more talent to come and help us and work with us. So give us a shout if you are.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something I don't think I touched on, it, which is an important point to realize on this, is we see so many of these exchanges out there that, which we're fighting to get listed on. We're fighting to get access to these markets and stuff. And some of them it's extortion. You look at some of these things where it's like 30 BTC to get listed, just for having the honor of being put on their site. This is a way of sidestepping that process and getting access to those markets without paying for those listing fees. That's an important part to understand with this whole thing. Is the way we're building this is we don't need to be listed with every fiat exchange known to man. We don't even have to be listed on any of them with a fiat pair. We utilize the channels that are already in place, and we get to the same goal by doing so. So okay, so that, I think at that point we're good to wrap up for that. I will go through it. I want to answer as many of your questions as possible here for that. So I know there's a lot there. So just bear with me a second while I stop that video feed, and we'll go directly to those. So if we can. Let's address some of these right off the bat. So let's see. Crypto City asks, how fast can 30 kiosks be made? How many units? How many units are on hand right now? These are not. We have 2 of these on hand right now, and the reason before it is I'm not gonna manufacture these unless we know we got customers. Now we do have customers that are in talks for adopting this product, but as of right now, none are on hand, nor will they be in the future unless we get enough of a groundswell for it to where it warrants having some on hand. It will be built built as requested on it. So there will be a bit of a delay on getting them in place, but on average right now we can manufacture about, on a single 3D printer, it's looking at about anywhere from 4 to 5 a month from one 3D printer. Now we've had individuals that have agreed to help with that, and so far we believe we have a count of up to 40 per month can be manufactured based off of the current ways and means. Now with that said, if we have to ramp up, we'll ramp up. It's all the manufacturing portions of it's done. All we have to do is pop these things into the printer. We do about a 30-minute sand job on two units, and they're ready, and with a paint job, and they're ready to go, and they're out, and we can have them inside of a box and ready to rock. So I hope that answers your question there, and I hope it kind of gives you an answer there. Crypto City and sound effects. What else we have? Is it rude to be able to be compensated for selling these units? No, not at all. If you think that you can get out there and you can do it. In fact, we've been looking at, that was biblical doctrine, I believe. If you can do that, right now I'm offering a 5,000 BitcoinZ bounty to anybody that can sign on a company up to, I think, what did I say, up to 100. So if you can do that, I'll gladly give you out of my own piggy bank 5,000 BitcoinZ for everyone you bring on. And we're actually going. I'm trying to figure out ways to do that to where individuals can become sponsors for stores. So like a lot of stores may not have technical skills. So in the future, I want to figure out a way to where they can get a percentile of sale as a recurrent reward for maintaining and helping these businesses maintain the system. So that's something that we're going to be actively working on. So it's not rude. I'll tell you, I'm the #1 capitalist on the team. I've always said that. So don't ever be afraid of that. You know, if you can get out there and you can get these businesses in store, if you can do it for free, great. If you need compensation for it, there's nothing wrong with that. What else do we have? Average time to complete a transaction. Somebody said it depends. I've had transactions that have went within less than 10 seconds of when I listed them, and then others, like as you see, and it took about 2 minutes for it to go through. So it's just enough time to have another glass of water or something like that, and move on. So what else we got? Extra steps. That's an extra step. Miner Huck, you're saying there's an extra step. What are you referring to in that? I'm sorry. Very cheap. Supported these kiosk sequence rings. Sorry. See, suggest them buy a currency. They won't understand crypto. Well, that's a beauty of it. They don't need to understand that. The idea for this is we create how-tos for this. So, and this will have to be something vetted and looked at from the community side of it, because we simply don't know all the exchanges that are available in certain areas. Certain like geos are going to have access to certain fiat exchanges, while others are going to have exchanges elsewhere. It's going to be changed from place to place. I agree that most people aren't going to want to do that, but at the same point, you look at the trouble people go through to get listed on Groupon. So it's like, I do believe that people will do it. It is going to be our job to simplify it as much as possible, and that's something we've done with the kiosk. Like, once the configure these things, it's literally a 2-step process on it. You put in a API key and a password, and you hit download, and it automatically pulls the wallet information, the discount rate for each coin into it automatically from the website. So it is as simple as we can get it up to this point. We will definitely try in the future to get further along with it, but as of right now, we've hit it from every angle that we can to make it as simple as possible, and we'll continue to. What else do we have?
I think there was something about tipping.
Tipping. In theory, they could be tips. Tips could be done, but they would be done directly with. They would be done directly with the waiter itself. So just as I pulled out my wallet, my copay wallet, I scanned the Kiosk Z. I would be able to ask and maybe this is something that this is a cultural thing we'll build to, is to where the waiter leaves a card with their transaction, their wallet address, where they want to with the currency that they want, and then they could scan that as a separate transaction and send it. But it doesn't have at current, it does not have a way to tip where it's integrated into the single transaction that's specifically and totally for the business. Have a 10, 15, 20% option. Albert, what are you referring to in regards to tipping?
The tip.
We don't want the only thing with that is a lot of these currencies. It's rather difficult to get them to have multi-send possibility off of there. So, and we don't want to commingle funds that go to like the person themselves, like the waiter, with the funds that are going for purchase of goods. So at this time, I would say it is going to be our goal to have them just, if they scan the kiosk to pay for the food, then scan the tip card for the waiter as a separate transaction to tip the waiter, and that solves the issue in a very simplistic method without getting too deep into the code on that. I want to save development cycles for things that progress us with that. I don't see that as something that's going to progress us with it. I agree. Exactly. Crypto City, perfect. You want to get tipped, download your wallet, have a thing, show it, and let them scan it. Perfect. And so with that said, okay, what do we have here? I'm going to show, getting back to our presentation. We did the live demonstration, we did the Q&A, and we're at the point of this is the wrap up. So I want to thank you guys for your time. I want to thank you for the patience with it, and let's see. I'll try to take a couple more questions off inside the general chat over at Slack, and we'll go from that point. I'll take that last question there. What about the durability of the unit? The units can be printed in ABS, so I mean, realistically, they're not going to be abused. If they abuse them, they're going to break them. It's not something that's going to survive getting thrown across the wall, but it should be fine. Over there, what's that? How fast can you change the software for different business models? Relatively fast. We can relatively fast change it. We plan, like I said, we plan on make a generalized model that any business can use. It's not just tailored for restaurants, but right now, yeah, drunks do drop things. So if it's happy hour, they should probably pull those things off the off the desks just to be safe. It's like anything valuable. You know what I mean? So. But that's it. That's I'll end the video here, guys. If you, Jeff or CryptoRex, do you have any closing comments you'd like to?
Well, I want to first thank everybody for joining us really for this announcement as well, and get the word out there. What we've announced in association and collaboration with SafeCoin and their team. I'm going to update the information in the description of the video, and also don't forget to like and share, subscribe, and all that stuff that all the YouTubers always say. So go ahead and just kind of reiterating what they do the same thing. And with that, that's again, thanks for joining. We want to push this out there. We want to have the global reach that we have, and use that again like we always do.
One other thing I want to add there, guys. I want to put out a special thank you to Fanatical. He's one of the developers for BitcoinZ. I couldn't have done this without him, or nor could any of us. He was instrumental in setting up the back end for this. Thank you. Be sure to give him a big thank you, and also Astrono Rick for the awesome art that he provided us here for the background.
Great job, guys.
Yeah.
So, thanks a lot for having us. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to what our two communities can do together.
Likewise.
Awesome.
That's it, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining. We'll be in touch.
Thank you.